evening and welcome to your Tuesday, April 9, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. AVINASH Construction gets the Keep Cemetery Road project, but government to terminate KALCO'S contract for Conversation Tree works. TT investments in Guyana growing. President Ali says government aiming to further integrate economies. Guyana needs intellectual property laws, UG Forum hears. His landmark judgments will guide future lawyers. Supreme Court honors late Justice Prasad, and East CANJE man turns 104. Now for the news in detail. Days after a stern President Dr. Irfan Ali had a meeting with persons responsible for awarding and monitoring government contracts, some critical decisions have been made regarding two major road projects, the Cemetery Road Expansion Project and the Conversation Tree to Dennis Street Road Widening Project. In this Trishelle Sober's report, we find out the decisions taken by the government on these roadworks, which are significantly behind schedule.
Despite having faced a number of delays with the project, AVINASH Construction and Metalworks will get to keep the contract for the $475 million Cemetery Road works. This was revealed by Minister of Public Works Juan Edgil during an interview with this newscast on Tuesday. The current revised deadline for the Cemetery Road project was March 31, 2024. But according to Minister Edgil, the government's evaluators decided against terminating the contract with AVINASH Construction and Metalworks, since the company has significantly advanced works. Nevertheless, he said, the government will pursue liquidated damages from the contractor for the delays suffered in the execution of the contract.
On the Cemetery Road contract, we have gone into the liquidated damages phase because the March 31st deadline would have passed. And the fact that the contractor would have advanced the work significantly, terminating now is not the first option.
Meanwhile, the Guyana government is moving to terminate the multi-million-dollar contract awarded to KALCO Guyana Incorporated for the incompletion of Lot B of the Conversation Tree to Dennis Street project.
The Conversation Tree, we are engaging the contractor with a view of terminating. KALCO did not live up to expectation.
This project was split into two lots. Lot A of the project was executed by S. Jagmohan Construction and General Supplies Incorporated to the tune of $1 billion, while Lot B was awarded to Trinidadian company KALCO Guyana Incorporated to the tune of some $830 million. S. Jagmohan Construction and General Supplies Incorporated has already completed its lot. Just a few days ago, during a meeting with representatives of ministries and agencies responsible for awarding and monitoring government contracts, President Dr. Irfan Ali ordered that penalties outlined in a number of government contracts be enforced for companies that continue to default on their contractual obligations. Up to news time, the Evening News was unable to ascertain the decisions taken on other ongoing government contracts that are behind schedule. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
14 of the new additional generators have already been integrated into the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system, and the Guyana Power and Light is expected to soon complete integrating the remainder, adding an estimated 30 megawatts to the national grid. Find out more in this Gerald Bryan report.
On Monday, Prime Minister retired Brigadier Mark Phillips conducted a tour of the Guyana Power and Light's generators at its Columbia, east coast of Demerara substation. During his tour, the Prime Minister, who has responsibility for the energy sector, inspected the progress on the 17 generators and 6 step-up transformers. The generators, which cost US $27 million, were procured last year from Apan Energy Services and will add 30 megawatts to the grid. So far, 14 generators have been brought online, and according to GPL Chief Executive Officer Kesh Nandalal, the remainder should be installed by the end of this week. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister indicated on his social media page that he was satisfied with developments at the site. He further committed the government to boosting GPL's electrical generation capacity and services to the people. For the past week, Guyana has been enduring a heightened spate of blackouts following what the GPL had described as engine failures at different locations. With its current challenges, GPL is now generating some 165 megawatts of power. However, the current peak demand for electricity is at 180 megawatts. Guyana is currently pursuing various avenues to fix GPL's woes in the medium and long term, from seeking external funding and technical assistance to the 300 megawatt gas-to-energy project. Joe O'Brien, The Evening News.
Trinidadian investments in Guyana are steadily growing, and President Dr. Irfaan Ali has indicated that both governments are actively looking for innovative ways to further integrate the economies of the two Caribbean states. Here is Gerald Bryan again with the details.
During an interview with Trinidadian news agency CNC3, President Dr. Irfaan Ali was asked about the growing ties between Guyana and Trinidad. In particular, reference was made to the regional ferry service being developed, which will include both countries as well as Barbados in its first phase. President Ali made it clear that alongside Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, they are actively working to grow ties between the two countries.
I want to say to the people of the region, Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana, that Prime Minister Rowley and I, we have been working very strongly together on building the connectivity between the country, but also building out a platform through which Trinidad and Guyana can operate in integrating a lot of what we are doing. We have to find innovative ways in which we will further integrate the different sectors to position the two economies to service demand and increase our competitiveness beyond the region, because there is tremendous potential both for Guyana and Trinidad beyond the region.
In fact, the president noted that there is already a lot of investments from Trinidad occurring in Guyana. He was also optimistic that this would continue to grow.
A lot of investment and private sector companies and individuals from Trinidad are investing heavily in Guyana. They're getting a lot of opportunities here. They're part of the growth and development of our country. And I think without exception, they can speak about the way in which we have integrated and the way in which we have welcomed the investment. We look forward and we know that this is going to expand.
Since January, it was reported that the Trinidad and Tobago cabinet had approved the use of that country's galleon's passage vessel to operate the regional ferry service. The vessel is expected to play a pivotal role in transporting not only CARICOM nationals, but also goods, particularly agriculture produce. Joe O'Brien, The Evening News.
Meanwhile, with national elections due next year, President Dr. Irfaan Ali has revealed in detail the plans he has for his second term as the country's leader. Specifically, the head of state has said the plans will continue on the progress made so far in his first term in office and will aim at ensuring disposable income and the overall quality of life for all Guyanese increases. Here's what he had to say.
You will see Guyana taking a lead role, if not the lead role, on the issue of climate security, energy security, and food security. But more importantly, you'll see a deep push towards the integration of South America in the Guyana Shield. We are working with President Lula, so you will see great interconnectivity with the transport system. You will see an energy corridor develop. You will see a world-class education system, a world-class healthcare system. You will see energy system that has all the components of a modern system, land with wind, solar, natural gas, but one that is reliable, one that is efficient, one in which the energy costs of the country will be cut by half. You will see the building out of massive industrialization and manufacturing. You will see tremendous investment in ICT, putting the country in the forefront of building a technologically driven economy. You will see the governance system moving to efficiency, greater efficiency through digitization, more predictability in the system. We are migrating all the manual process into digital process so that you have less human biases in the system itself, and the system must work in an efficient and reliable way. We're going to invest heavily, continue to invest heavily in security, ensuring that we are building is built in a secure environment, in an environment in which the citizens of the country enjoy the highest level of security. We're going to invest heavily in agriculture to ensure that we are playing an important role in the region in food security. We're building sustainable agriculture, use of technology. We'll be investing heavily in research and development, enhancing our human resource capacity. We want to have one of the highest skilled human resource based assets in the world, so we're investing heavily in education. Under the Gold Scholarship Program in the last 3.5 years, we have almost 30,000 Guyanese studying in that program, of which 75% are women. We're working towards implementing economic opportunity and an initiative that would improve and expand disposable income at the household level, so that more persons, more of the labor force in the household level can be deployed, so that disposable income at the household level can increase and be enhanced. And when that happens, you grow individual wealth, you grow family wealth, you grow community wealth. And once you grow community wealth, you'll grow national wealth. We don't want wealth to be in economic parameters alone. We want wealth to be enjoyed by the citizens of the country through a good standard of living, through and we want our elderly persons to retire in dignity, to have access to a good healthcare system. So you will see a lot of policies and programs that will continue along this trajectory, building the private sector, expanding opportunities for the private sector, making them more competitive, moving the private sector into research and development so that we can be ahead of time. Listen, we are now investing to cut the time lag in catching up with the rest of the world. We want to ensure that from a technological standpoint, from a healthcare standpoint, from an education standpoint, from a human resource standpoint, from a security standpoint, from an economy, sustainable economy standpoint, that we are right there ahead of the curve with the front runners. Ensuring also that we don't build a budget that where the current expenditure is running ahead of us and that cannot be sustained. Those are the important things. Investing in things that increases productivity, increases the country's competitiveness, and enhance our economic prospects.
The University of Guyana last week held a symposium to discuss intellectual property rights, and it was recognized at that forum that Guyana is severely lagging behind when it comes to legislation that protects ideas, inventions, and creative expressions. Kelroy Williams tells us more.
The University of Guyana, in collaboration with the United States Embassy Office for International Trade and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, on Friday last hosted a discussion on intellectual property ahead of World Intellectual Property Day, which will be observed on the 26th of April. During the seminar, Dean of the School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation, Dr. Leyland Lucas, highlighted that Guyana is one of the fastest growing economies, but yet the country is lagging behind when it comes to intellectual property rights.
And one of the areas in which the law is lagging is in terms of intellectual property rights and how we deal with that.
Implementing strong intellectual property right laws creates an environment that creates innovation and encourages inventors to come up with new solutions and opens the door for foreign investments. In this regard, Dr. Leyland explained that it is important for the University of Guyana to demonstrate that they understand the value of intellectual property and enforce all protections necessary to ensure products and innovations created by the institution remains their property. In fact, he revealed that the University of Guyana recently incorporated intellectual property rights into its curriculum.
We must not only educate our students, but all stakeholders involved in this process. Everyone we come into contact with, we should help them to understand what is their value proposition. You just didn't make a tune because you felt like making it. You just didn't draw a painting because you felt like doing it.
Meanwhile, present at the event was the intellectual property attaché from Mercosur, the Guyanas and Suriname, David Kellis, who highlighted Ethiopia's success from trademarking major coffee brands.
An example from Ethiopia. So Ethiopia is, of course, a significant coffee producer. And in 2007, some of the major coffee brands in Ethiopia began to utilize trademark protection. And those brands are now earning more than $100 million annually, which has resulted in significant increases for the employees of that industry.
A few days ago, Attorney General Anil Nandlal engaged officials from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Representatives of the agency engaged the Attorney General to learn about the local landscape and activities happening on the intellectual property front. They also advocated for the promotion of greater intellectual property protection and even offered to provide assistance necessary to enhance the local intellectual property landscape in Guyana. Reporting for the Evening News, Kelroy Williams.
Coming up, his landmark judgments will guide future lawyers. Supreme Court honors late Justice Prasad, and East CANJE man turns 104. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Stock the finest in the country, both ceramic and porcelain, tiles and chandeliers you'll see while you shop around stress-free. Well-trained staff and warming halls make your shopping smooth and calm, providing you with quality to match your style that's so unique. Mima Decor.
The moment is coming. He has the ball. Will he make the shot? And he made it! Goal! This is the biggest win we've seen in ages. Feel the rush with every bet and win big. Play online at www.ibetgamesur.com.
With iBet Supreme, every game is your game. iBet to win with iBet Supreme.
Must be 18 years and older to bet.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
This Mother's Day, celebrate in style and give mom the chance to win big. Simply top up with $1,000 or more for a chance to be one of 5 lucky winners of a brand new, fully stocked French door fridge with groceries worth over $550,000 each. One winner will be selected weekly from April 5th to May 9th. Start topping up today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Guyana's landscape is set to immensely transform, with some $221.4 billion earmarked to fast-track the country's infrastructural development. To improve accessibility, $204.1 billion was budgeted for roads and bridges. Some $6.9 billion will be going towards strengthening the country's river and sea defense, $8.1 billion and $2.3 billion for improved river and air transport respectively. These projects are supported by the country's first $1 trillion budget, which was supported by oil revenues.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Skeletal remains were today discovered in a cane field in East CANJE, Berbice, that falls under the purview of the Rose Hall Sugar Estate. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael visited the scene and filed this report.
The discovery was made on Tuesday morning by a cane harvester who was working in the cane field operated by the Guyana Sugar Corporation. According to the police, 2 security officers went to the Reliance police station and reported that the skeleton remains were found at Enterprise A, Field 1. The 37-year-old cane harvester said that at about 7:45 he was working in the area when he discovered the skull and a quantity of bones. That information was passed on to the security officers. The remains were removed by the police. Siu Kumar Balram is one of the workers who was working in the said area on Tuesday morning.
This morning, while working, I see a gather of people, I see about 20 persons, and me ask, what the gathering about? They said and discover a skeleton of a human body. And, well, me not really go check because, you know, like, me coward for go and see what is it. And after that, I see police come in and, you know, then go and check. Well, me not go. Then go and check and they spend about half an hour they spend. Then they remove from the area.
Police say the person is still to be identified. Investigations are ongoing. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
In a tribute to the late Justice retired Prem Prasad, who passed away on November 26, 2023, the Supreme Court of Judicature of Guyana held a special full court sitting to reflect on the life and work of the stalwart. Details in this Trishel Sobers report.
The special full court sitting on Tuesday saw the participation of organizations such as the Guyana Bar Association and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, among others. Many used the event to reflect on the success of Justice Prem Prasad and shared personal experiences, one such person being the Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandlal, who, in an emotional state, expressed gratitude to the late Justice for putting service above self. According to Nandlal, the late Justice was a trailblazer whose landmark judgments will continue to guide lawyers and judges alike for many years to come.
The legal profession in Guyana and the Caribbean lost a fine jurist. No doubt he made a sterling contribution to the legal profession, the public life, and in service to his country and its people. Guyana is poor by his demise. For his outstanding contribution to national life, he was appointed a member of the Order of Service and awarded the Cacique Crown of Honor.
Further, Chief Justice Roxanne George shared several stories about her encounters with the late Justice Prasad, whom she explained played a major role in shaping her success in the legal fraternity. On this point, she expressed that the late Justice is a legal tower who made everlasting strides along the physical and legal landscape of Guyana, and the Supreme Court of the Judicature of Guyana would cherish and honor his work in all future endeavors.
As a prosecutor, it was my privilege to appear before Justice Prasad not long after I began working at the Chambers of the Director of Public Prosecutions in 1990. He was always a helpful judge, understanding that as young counsel, we needed guidance. He was always willing to share his knowledge and expertise. He believed in simplicity and clarity of language, and therefore exemplified what has become the newer thinking as regards communicating legal issues.
Born in the village of Betterfawakton on the east coast of Demerara, Justice Prem Prasad was possibly the longest-serving magistrate in the entire Commonwealth. After serving as a High Court judge for several years, Justice Prasad was appointed to a Justice of Appeal to the Court of Appeal of Guyana. He also served as Chief Justice for a short period. Upon his retirement, Justice Prasad held several crucial posts, including being the longest-serving chairman of the Public Utilities Commission. Trishel Sobers, Evening News.
Gio Jodan Barrosi of Godbananen Land, East CANJE, Berbice, has attained the extraordinary milestone of his 104th birthday on Monday. Andrew Carmichael has that story.
Gio Jodan Baraski, also known as Harold Bissoon, marked the milestone surrounded by family. Currently, he lives alone but is taken care of by a neighbor who holds him as a father figure after growing up with him and his two children, one of whom is alive. His 77-year-old daughter Mona Gio Jodan said in his younger days the cane harvester participated in estate cricket matches. On Monday, he received a wheelchair from the Regional Health Department and 2 large hampers, one each from the Regional Democratic Council and the Regional Police, as birthday presents.
As usual, when persons achieve that age, we always go around to their homes and bring a hamper to them and try to bring some cheer to them. Because to achieve 104 years, I mean, that's not an easy task. And God really has to bless you to reach 104 years. and not many people could make a century. So this uncle here today has managed to reach 104 years. So I've come here to congratulate him for his achievement of 104 years. And I want to also wish him more years, because he seemed to be in not too bad shape.
That was Region 6 Chairman David Armagon as he paid the man a visit on his birthday. The 104-year-old man's hearing ability has diminished with age. 1 year ago, he was able to do almost anything for himself, but now needs much assistance. With the aid of a wheelchair, he moves around, but must be helped.
Maybe he has another couple of years to live as well. So we will continue to come year after year once he's alive and once we are alive, because, you know, life is so unpredictable these days that sometimes the young one goes and the old ones remain. So we will continue to go around to various places in our region to make sure that we take hampers and take goodies to persons who are 100 years and over. It's something that we've already been doing in the past, and we will continue to do that.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Venezuela has submitted its counter memorial on the border controversy to the International Court of Justice on Monday. President Dr. Irfan Ali has since welcomed this development and further expressed hope that Venezuela would continue to cooperate in the border case, which it has been reluctant to do despite the court ruling since 2020 that it has the jurisdiction to hear and decide the case. Here's what President Ali had to say on these developments.
This is what Guyana has been calling for, and I hope that Venezuela will continue to engage fully in the process before the International Court of Justice, which has determined that it has the jurisdiction in the case brought before it to determine the validity of the 1899 arbitral award, which Venezuela questions. The court's final decision will ensure a resolution that is peaceful, equitable, and in accordance with international law. The court will now be able to review the submissions of both parties in order to make its judgment, a judgment which I wish to reiterate Guyana will abide with. Both parties are bound to accept the court's judgment in this matter. Venezuela continues to make unfounded statements regarding the oil exploration concessions held by Exxon and other international partners. Let me be lucidly clear. The government of Guyana, under my leadership, will continue to govern and monitor all license holders in a transparent manner. Further, as a sovereign nation, we are beholden to no state or private entity in how we conduct our domestic or foreign policy, including our relations with other states. Guyana underscores the obligation of both parties to comply with the court's order on provisional measures of December 1st, 2023, which prohibits Venezuela from interfering with Guyana's administration and control of the Essequibo. I therefore, once again, reiterate Guyana's position that we support and will work towards a stable and peaceful regional environment.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Wednesday, April 10, 2024 at 3 hours 30 for 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 5 hours on Wednesday, April 10, 2024, also for 1.5 hours.
CWI to collab with CPL for U23 T20 tournament, and Rhythm Squad FC recognizes national athletes. Details of these stories and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by MACORP.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvies has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvies Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Did you know that Gassie's Jet A1 fuel is a type of aviation fuel specially formulated for turbine engines? Jet A1 fuel is safer to handle and transport than any other fuel types due to its high flash point and low volatility. It also boasts a high energy content, enhancing aircraft performance and efficiency. So whether traveling for business or pleasure, choose Guyana's Jet A1 fuel for a safe, reliable, and efficient flight.
This Mother's Day, celebrate in style and give Mom the chance to win big. Simply top up with $1,000 or more for a chance to be one of 5 lucky winners of a brand new, fully stocked French door fridge with groceries worth over $550,000 each. One winner will be selected weekly from April 5th to May 9th. Start topping up today. Digicel, the network for everyone.
The moment is coming. He has the ball. Will he make the shot? And he made it! Goal! This is the biggest win we've seen in ages. Feel the rush with every bet and win big. Play online at www.ibetgamesui.com.
With iBet Supreme, every game is your game. iBet to win.